I have a block here that was given me a while back by Matt Wood. This ammonite here was covered up like this, it was just that exposed. Well, I've prepped the top off it and it's a nodicoloceras. But there's also a Phyloceras, part of a Phyloceras chamber in here. Or it looks to be a Phyloceras. And there are some smaller ammonites in the chamber. Not sure what they are yet. Could be dacts, could be nodies. Well, this smooth-shelled Phyloceras, or what I thought was a Phyloceras, is actually a Harpoceras. For some reason it's not very prominent, but you can see the ribs curve in here. So that is actually a Harpoceras. The nodicoloceras, the outer chamber, is missing here, but there's still the remains of a little bit of it up to the mouth border. This is where the mouth border was. I'm going to remove this. Then we'll lower the rest of it and it will give us a better idea of what we've got. That's interesting. The nodie has had some crushing or damage here. Just make two rib marks out there. Now whether that's part of the nodie ribs that have been crushed in or not, I don't know. I'll expose the rest of it before I do anything else. As regards reducing it, you could reduce it to there and it'd probably be perfect, but we'll see what this is first. I'll remove the rest of this top rock and then we'll have some sort of idea. While she's coming, I really do enjoy doing this sort of block. Quite often the limestone is extremely hard and then you have the calcite areas as well, but I'm looking forward over the next week to doing this. I think it may possibly come out quite nice. Unfortunately, it looks like the Harpoceras chamber ends here. You can see the shape of the chamber is here. So you've got one ammonite in it and one ammonite just under it. But we'll have a look tomorrow. I think this looks like some sort of pathology. Whether the shell sustained damage or not while the animal was still alive, it's difficult to say, but definitely looks like pathology, that, not caused post-mortem. Unusual. We'll leave it as it is. Just hope the rest of it will clean, which it should do. So we'll clean back up here and round and expose it more or less completely. See what other surprises there are. Quite unusual. I think I'm going to cut the mouth border here next and just clear this out a little bit, and we'll start reducing this a bit more. Possibly have a look at this ammonite in the side. We'll have to come into the shell here. But yeah, quite unusual that. The nodule is now completely exposed, as is what's left of this side of where this edge here ends, more or less here. The kale comes around to about there, like so. I've just cut a circle with the dental drill, and I'm going to remove it with a pen in a minute to get down to this ammonite here. Still quite a bit of work, a few hours to go yet. Well, it is all there, the inner whales are here, and it's looking like another nodule. Well, next job I think will be to expand this out a bit and see if we can find the complete circumference of the ammonite. It's going to be very tricky to clean. There's a lot of calcite on the top of the ribs and whales. Well, it is coming out. It's covered in a lot of calcite and it's extremely hard to clean without damaging it. There's a little bit more undercut round here I've got to do. Part of this whale that's coming around here is missing. This would have been around the outside, this whale. As you can see, it's worn away here. But it'll be okay. I think it'll look quite nice nevertheless. Just need to expose a little bit more of it round here and a little bit more around here. gone as far as I want to do today with this. I really need to wear a braid this ammonite and round here just to see exactly what's there and what's going on before I finish it. The background matrix is ready for a grind. I'll try and eliminate this small amount of calcite here, grind the mouth border. I've shaped the rock to blend in with the keel here. I may take that a bit lower, I'm not sure yet. But basically I think the next thing I'm going to be doing is a bit of grinding. Rough grinding's in. I think I'm actually going to texture this, but first of all we need to wear a braid these ammonites, and I need to finish this one off, and the mouth border still on that one, so that'll be the next job. I've been looking at this for a while. I'm not really happy with this, and I think I need to expose a bit more of this keel. You really need to see the complete side of it if it's all there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter this cut and try and expose more of this keel, and then I might put a small repair in there on this keel part here. I think it'll be better that way. Right, I've enlarged this. I've also cleaned this ammonite a little bit more. It's very, very crystalline, particularly the centre. It's going to want a little bit more work on it. I've air braided it just so I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. This node is beautiful. Look at that, pinpoint to the centre. I'm going to put a repair in here and then we'll carry on. Right, we've put in a basic repair there, so I'll put a little bit of colour on that, just a primer, and then we'll carry on. Right, put a bit of base colour on there, we'll blend all that in later. I've got to clean all this with the air abrasive on fine setting, try and clean all this away before we finish that. I think next I'll just correct this curve there, then possibly texture the main body of the matrix. that's the texturing done for now. What I'll do next is I'll get the air abrasive out and I'll just clean around here and clean the background. Then I'll put a bit of coating on this and a little bit on one edge here so I can see what colours I've got. Then I'll match this in, this repairing, then coat it all. Right, I'm going to use a different finish on this one. This is Paraloid 372, which is like a plastic crystal. This is acetone. I'm going to put so many crystals in there, put the acetone on top and dissolve it. It's a finish I've used for many years. It was my main finish for 20 or 30 years, must be. Don't need a lot. I'll probably have to thin that down after it's dissolved quite a bit. I don't like a really gloss finish. Put some acetone in. That'll be about enough for that. That might actually be quite strong. Stir and give it a stir. I'll leave this overnight to really dissolve. Lid on. Don't know how many years I've had this mustard jar. I'll just put that on the bench shelf up top and let it dissolve overnight. In the morning we'll check the strength of it and thin it or strengthen it as required. That bit's all down to personal taste. We'll just blend this in, I think, while we'll then leave it overnight for this to dry and the other to dissolve. And then we'll finish off tomorrow. That'll do. I forgot to do this. I was getting carried away with myself. Really light grey. Right, I think we'll finish that in the morning now. Should be okay. This paint's dry. It's going to be lovely, that one. Right, I think that's about where I like it. You can vary the strength, the shininess, the gloss, by simply adding more acetone or pellets. If you want it to go glossier, then you add more B72 paraloid pellets. If you want it not to be so glossy, then you pour more acetone in. I need a smaller brush in a minute. She's finished, as far as I want to go anyway for the moment. I may have to cut the back of the block off depending on how much room I have left in my cabinets. This node here is absolutely gorgeous. You probably can't see it in this light, but it's right down to the pinpoint centre. The pathology makes it a little bit unusual. This one in the Harpoceras chamber, not so good, whether it's because it's been in the chamber, the way it's fossilised, very crystalline, not very distinct in places, but nevertheless a nice piece. I'm quite happy to put it in my cabinet. Thanks for watching guys, and hopefully I will see you soon.